Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. I'm using the Gilded Tarot for our reading today. I'll choose some cards from the Gilded Tarot and I'll also choose one from the Gods, Goddesses and Angels as well for some extra guidance. I hope you're all keeping well. I haven't been online for this month. It didn't feel aligned for me to do that. Today does, so I'll come on to do a reading and to share some information that's coming through. So we have the new moon tomorrow, which is it's a black moon, and a black moon is when there are two new moons in the same month. The black moon is very auspicious. It's a powerful and potent time to manifest. This new moon is in Capricorn, whose opposing sign is Cancer. So this is the gateway on this axis, moving from Christmas time through the new year. This time of year is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the planet that brings our gifts. When we sit in the present, we receive presents. But somehow we have been led to believe that this time of year is going out and seeing to everybody else, and which is good, it is, but making sure we have that time to really be present with ourselves. The solstice, the longest night of the year, the shortest day of the year, when everything starts to shift. And from the solstice we have the 3 nights of the sun not moving, rising in the same place and setting in the same place. So our ancients thought that the sun had died. So on the 24th, 25th, as the sun started to rise in the sky, there were celebrations of the birth of the sun, which is governed by Saturn. Saturn is the planet of karma, of our father, of time, reminding us that everything comes in divine timing, not to step into impatience, because when we step into impatience we start to incur karma. To be fully grateful for where we are and fully appreciative and accepting of ourselves and what is occurring in our lives, learning from whatever is presenting itself, taking the wisdom. This is Saturn. He is the sage. He is the magi, bringing in the gifts when we sit in silence. Those are spiritual gifts. And Saturn is in Pisces, this spiritual sign, which is the end sign of the zodiac. So Saturn asking us to get truthful with our soul, to listen to our soul guidance, to break free of those old structures. We're coming into this new moon in Capricorn, which Capricorn rules the bones. And again, that's our structure. It holds everything in, our organs. We may feel some discomfort within our bones, within our joints. Know that this is a realignment that we are moving through into the next new year, to really place self-healing wherever there is discomfort, to listen to what that area of our bodies is saying to us, if it's in pain. Really feel compassion for ourselves, to use our oils, to use our natural remedies to assist us through this time of realignment. So Saturn is the Lord of the Rings, and the is opposing Cancer. So we have the gates here of the divine masculine, the divine feminine, as we are coming through this new moon, and this is the last lunation of this year, and now it has fallen just before the new year. So this is really auspicious for us, especially a new moon in Capricorn, because this is a earth sign, so we're grounding and anchoring our gifts within our bodies, within our reality, to step forward through this gateway into the new year of 2025. So we have the moon and the sun, 9 degrees in Capricorn, and the next year is a 9 year. So these are completions, these are spiritual gifts, and as we complete, we are stepping into fresh new beginnings. So this is such an auspicious time to do our manifesting on this new moon. As we're leading up to the new moon, it's a good time to really close out 2024. It's been one of our relationships, the North Node in Aries, the I Am, the South Node in Libra, and the Spirit are showing me the we and me. So the me is the North Node and the we is the South Node. How we treat ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, and how we love ourselves, is that flows out into our relationships. So the learnings that we've had over the past few years to do with our I am presence, our I am wounds, and our relationships, to really do a reflection on our relationships and to do ritual, because the nodes change on the 11th of January, on that powerful portal of the 11th of the 1st. The nodes change and move into Pisces and Virgo, that spiritual axis. So this is about closing out, looking at any habits that we have that are no longer serving us, that we know have run their course, to do some ritual writing and burning on those, on our relationships, anything that is, any emotions that are coming up for us within our relationships, to add that in our healing box, to do our writing and burning, looking at the different aspects of our lives and the things that we've moved through in 2024. We've all gone through that figure 8. It's been an 8 year where we have raised and then started to descend, to go down into the very deepest emotions, do the work and the alchemization and moving through into this flow. And so we have gone through a lot and learned a lot about ourselves, really gone within, looking at anything that we have not closed out in this year, to do our ritual, to do our closing out of the year 2024 before we move into the year 2025. And this new moon, so powerful, so potent with magic. we have Saturn. We had the the solstice, winter solstice, the longest night, shortest day of the year, on the 21st of December, when the sun moves into Capricorn from Sagittarius. So we moved into Capricorn, who is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the planet of karma. It's the planet of our spiritual gifts, and reminds us through this time of the solstice, through this time of Christmas, to stay present, because when we stay present, we receive the presence, we receive our spiritual gifts, we receive the guidance. And as these nights are dark, it's to go within and listen to the messages that are coming through. And these messages will not be anything of fear or anything that is conflicting or criticizing ourselves. That is our shadow. So maybe do some shadow work as we're closing out on this year 2024. As the sun stays in position. So when we have the solstice, the sun rises in the same position and sets in the same position. So our ancients thought the sun had died. And on the third day after the sun starts to rise and starts to stay longer in the sky, so that this is the return of the light, this is when our ancients celebrated the birth of the sun. So we are celebrating the light that's coming in. We are being given these gifts of this new moon, of really sitting down and coming into alignment first and foremost with peace and love, and doing our inspirations, doing our manifestations, sowing those seeds for the next year. As we are moving from Christmas, we have the 12 days before Christmas, the 12 days after Christmas. So the 12 days after Christmas are in between worlds. The 26th, Boxing Day, is the first day, the 12 days. Then we go to the 6th of January, which is the Epiphany, where the wise men, the Magi, visited Jesus with the 3 gifts. So during this time, it's to really connect with nature, asking for a sign. So the Boxing Day, the 26th, is January, the 27th is February. So for each day of the 12 days after Christmas, it represents a month. So as we're walking in nature and we are being given and shown these gifts, they are presenting to us a message for that month of the next year. So if we're walking and we're seeing birds presenting themselves to us, being mindful and watching how they are behaving. Are they nice and quiet and peaceful? Are they stimulated and erratic? Everything is speaking to us in these next 12 days, helping us to navigate the next 12 months. It's the same with the trees. If we're seeing any symbols or images in the trees, or making a conscious note of how things are presenting themselves to us. So if we are drawn to some rocks, how are they lining up in the earth? And you know, the rock, Capricorn is the Lord of the Rings. It's the planet, it's the rock, and in every rock there is the Holy Spirit. So as we're connecting to anything that our eyes fall upon as we are walking in these next 12 days, for our messages from the divine, from the universe, to help us navigate through the next 12 months, and being aware of how we feel when we are seeing the rocks, what colours they are, whether it is sticks, whatever it is going out, whether it's an animal, how is that animal behaving? If it's a horse, is it nice and calm? Is it just watching us? So just taking everything in over these next 12 days up to the Epiphany, and that's when the Christ of light really comes in and activates us with him. So such a beautiful time of the year. We have Saturn opposing Cancer. So this new moon is in Capricorn. The opposing sign of Capricorn is Cancer. So we've got the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and this is a doorway that we're all moving through to really be mindful and paying attention to how we're feeling as we're moving through this gateway into 2025. So such a wonderful, wonderful time. There are a lot of changes coming next year, with planets moving, the big planets, the outer planets moving into different signs, which will make it feel that the earth beneath us is shifting. And it, of course, it will be, because we're manifesting something different. So things have to change for us to step into the visualizations that we have been focusing on. So I'm setting the intention for a reading for the highest and greatest good for the collective, or anyone who views this video for the highest and greatest good. And as always, take what resonates and just put the rest to one side. Anything I say, just put to one side if it does not resonate. There we have strength, death, and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. The base of the pack, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. So the cards are asking us, we have the Strength card, to go within, for the strength, for the courage. And this is all to do with Capricorn, Saturn, who is in Pisces, closing out those last, dissolving those structures that have held us and blocked us from connecting with our higher self. Capricorn rules our body, rules our bones, our joints. We're bringing into this alignment of our holistic self. Spiritual, mental, emotional and physical, all coming into beautiful alignment. And as that is happening, as we are aligning with our spiritual, with our higher self, it's creating a realignment within our bones. So we may be achy, we may feel that our bones are heavy, and so we're going through all the old structures are dissolving, and so our skeleton, our bones, our structure that hold our body in place, hold our organs in place. So as we have been shifting and moving and releasing anything that's heavy, anything that's taking us out of alignment with our soul journey, there is a flood of energy coming in, fresh energy, which is when it's like when we've been exercising and we start to use muscles that we've not used for a long time. This is what's happening as we are being realigned, as we're coming into alignment, and this is what Saturn is asking us to do, to come into alignment with our soul self, to dissolve anything that's blocking us from listening and following our soul guidance. So we've got this strength of communication, these communication with the higher realms, that it is starting to now come through, and we're starting to listen to the compassion, to the messages of compassion for ourselves and others. We are moving away from the blame and the judgment, because we know they do not reside in the higher dimensions. That is where our shadow work is required. So we are separating, we are shifting and holding on to the thoughts that strengthen us and empower us, but empower us not that we have any power over anyone, that we actually feel empowered, that we can say yeah when we want to, or no when we want to, without having a guilt trip, without being shamed into doing something we do not want to do. So we're all taking back our power, realigning ourselves. The strength is there within us, that we have this divine force around us that's guiding us, assisting us. There's a death, and the death is the old falling away, as we are closing out on the year 2024. Those, and as we are really being honest with ourselves, the habits that we may have that really don't serve us, that actually drain us, we're being honest. So we're writing those out this year, but we're putting something else in place. So whatever it may be, so we are letting something go, but then we are choosing something positive in its place. So we've got something else to focus on. So there's a death occurring of the last year, of that part of ourselves that is not in vibrational alignment with year 2025, or that's not in alignment with our soul purpose. So there's deaths there, there's a letting go, there is a time of transformation that we're moving through. And then the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune, as we let go of the old and we welcome the new and we focus on the new, yeah, we may trip and go back into an old pattern, but we then start to align ourselves even quicker because it doesn't feel right for us anymore. So the Wheel of Fortune is turning for us all in a good way, and this is the card that's connected to Jupiter, and Jupiter is the lucky planet. It is the planet of expansion and is in Gemini. So Gemini is the planet of communication. So really listening to our words, because our words they have a life of their own. But however we speak, whatever we speak of as a life, it creates life. So being mindful that we're speaking our truth, and our truth is love, and our truth is what brings us joy, what absolutely uplifts us. That's our truth. So there's a shift in energies coming during the latter end of this year. The Knight of Pentacles, something new coming in to do with finances. Okay, so any financial issues that we've had this year, any fears of not having enough, make sure we close them out before the new year, this new moon, the new year. Right, do the ritual on closing those scarcity beliefs out. The page, the Knight of Pentacles, is bringing us a gift, something new, a change in our finances. So as the sun starts to light our way, starts to light our path, igniting our passion within. And this is something else that the angels are coming through with. Our passion is our fountain of youth. When we're doing what we're passionate about, whether it is in our relationship, whether it is in our career, that's the fountain of youth. It keeps us young. So we're being gifted an elixir of youth, of health, of new beginnings, of changes on every level. So the Knight of Pentacles is coming in with a change in our finances. So when we align and start to do what we love, our finances start to increase, our passion is flowing, we feel better, we become healthier. So this is a wonderful time that the cosmos, the universe, the divine is gifting us a wonderful opportunity of change, and all we have to do is let the past go, let it go, because if we don't, we keep on living in the past. We keep on speaking the same language. We're learning a different way of being and speaking and really owning in and aligning with our passion. The Nine of Pentacles, this is prosperity. Spirit are telling us, don't worry. Well, once we start worrying, we block, we pinch ourselves off from divine flow. We start to believe that we are less than worthy of receiving. So you can see she is there in that lush garden, all those pentacles all around her, ready for plucking from the tree. So whatever has been blocked because of a misalignment is starting to align itself now, and it's the jackpot. I'm just seeing the jackpot coming into alignment, and the jackpot, the pentacles flowing towards us as we align with our higher self and listen to that guidance that is of the higher mind. It's not those low thoughts that keep us in fear. It's that higher mind of expansion, of trust, of faith, of knowing that we are always divinely supported. And as we feel that, we come into alignment. And then we have the Page of Cups offering us a gift, and that is beautiful. There's light there in his cup. So this is forgiveness, forgiving ourselves for not knowing what we didn't know in the past, forgiving ourselves for being so hard on ourselves, for really not seeing who we are. And that's not in any better than anyone else. It's when we stop that codependency, that depending on others to make us happy or feeling loved or worthy. The page is offering us, the Page of Cups is coming in and offering us self-love, this gift of forgiveness, this gift of romance, making its way towards us. Feel the enjoyment, feel the excitement of that. Don't block it with any thoughts of the lower mind. Allow it to open and connect and receive this beautiful gift from the divine of love, of something new, something young, something that's going to bring out that youthfulness within us. So I'm asking now for a message from the gods, goddesses and angels, and we have the goddess of justice. So sometimes what we see as an injustice is actually good. We don't actually see it at the time. It's only when we look back, we're so grateful that things work out the way they have done. The universe, our soul, will take us exactly where we're meant to go. Sometimes we have problems accepting that in our mind. And once we start to let go of those thoughts and go and allow our soul to navigate us through, we realise that every single step of the way we are meant to be exactly where we have been meant to be for whatever reason. And this is Saturn coming in again, the Lord of Time, reminding us that everything is in divine timing, to stay in that peaceful place. And this Goddess of Justice is the card of cause and effect. So just looking back on the past year of where we may have felt that we've done something and acted a little bit out of alignment, or whatever it may be, to find some peace there now, find some forgiveness for ourselves and the situation, to know that whatever we are now putting out there is coming back. It's cause and effect. Whatever energy we put out into the universe will serve it to us. And with Capricorn is so the moon and the sun are 9 degrees in Capricorn, and we're moving into a 9 year. So this is all, it's getting us ready for this 9 year, helping us to close out on those old situations that we keep finding ourselves in, to really take a breath and to surrender now, to do whatever we feel, to really put some energy into a ritual of letting go of the past year, of letting ourselves off the hook if we're still feeling guilty for anything, whatever it may be, to really wipe the slate clean is what the angels are saying. Wipe the slate clean, let this year go, step into the next year, this next year, number 9 year of completion. And as much as it is completions, it's fresh new beginnings, and 9s are all about luck, good fortune, happiness, spiritual gifts. So we're starting to see through the veils, starting to see the light of our new realities that we're all creating, to let go of any fears of any changes that are going to present themselves. Know that any change that's coming, we have the angels around us, we have our spirit guides around us, the divine around us, ushering us into a beautiful time of our lives, to trust the change, to not start doubting ourselves, and the angel of pleasure. So this is a time of pleasure. Take pleasure in everything that you're doing, whether it's cooking, whether it's cleaning, whatever it is. Align, find the pleasure, find the positive in every single thing we do, because this energy is powerful and potent, and we will be taking the energy into the next year. So feel that pleasure, feel that passion, allow it, that fountain of youth, that gift, that elixir that the divine is presenting us with. Take it in and feel it. Feel that elixir of life, of healing, of youth, of prosperity. Because those lessons are done. Done. Now is the time to reap the rewards for all the good that we've put out there, for all the healing, for all the prayers, for all the good that we have done is now starting to make its way back into our lives. So I'm sending so much love. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening and a wonderful new moon. And this is the gateway, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, the mother, the father. This is the access that is so spiritual. To walk through it, taking the wisdom, bringing in the wisdom of parenting ourselves, not looking out there for anyone to parent us, to actually, what they're saying is take responsibility for ourselves. Take responsibility for ourselves and what we are focusing on. Capricorn is a vessel. It's earth. It's a vessel. So when we start to fill this vessel with light, with what we love doing, and focus on that, that's what Capricorn does. It brings us more. That's what Saturn does. It brings us these spiritual gifts. It is like our children. If they wake up in the morning, Christmas morning, all the gifts are there, and they're opening things and saying, don't like this, in fact I hate it, I don't like this, and I don't like you for buying it me, and just throwing it to one side. You would, well I would say, I'm not going to get you anything else. That's it. But when they're opening the gifts up and saying, oh, I love this, even the smallest gift, opening it up, saying, I really love this, I love this, and I love you for gifting it me. We start to watch what they're good at. We start to watch what they're passionate about, and we start to buy other things that in addition to the gift. And that's what that is what the universe does. If we are sat in a place of unhappiness and not happy with anything, then the universe stops giving, or it'll give us more of what we're not happy about, until we learn to be grateful for the smallest things in life. So as we take in this gratitude, this is part of the elixir of good fortune. And Jupiter, the wheel of fortune connecting with Jupiter. Jupiter loves the vibration of gratitude. So when we are grateful for something, it expands it and expands it. And we have put so many limits on ourselves that we can only feel this amount of happiness, or we can only feel this amount of prosperity, whatever it may be. We put those limits on ourselves through our limiting beliefs. Jupiter in Gemini, Mercury in Sagittarius, both opposing each other. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, Mercury rules Gemini, so that we're having a different perspective. So Jupiter is helping us to break free of those limiting beliefs, and so is Saturn, helping us to break free from those old structures that we've grown out of, that are too contracting now. We're in a time of expansion and growth. So wonderful, wonderful time. And thank you so much for listening. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. I took this month off. The readings weren't coming into alignment, but today it has done, so here I am. So yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful new moon, and close out this year with everything that you've done with. Close it out physically. Do something, do some ritual, letting the universe know it's done now. It's done. We're opening up to something greater, more light filled. Sending so much love, and thank you so much for listening. If you made it to the end, thank you.